Hey Nintendo dudes, how's it going? This is Ryan, Nintendo Freak here, and right now I am currently busy on working on the new Ryan Nintendo Freak episode, the 4th year anniversary episode, and I just want to tell, and I don't have a script right now, and I want to take a break from just the unboxings and basically everything, and I just wanted to come on here on the camera with you guys, and I just wanted to tell you guys some games I remember from my youth, so from my childhood and stuff like that. So, here we go. Let's dive in.
It's me, Mario!
Super Mario Bros. Now, we're not gonna go into like a whole detail of just like basically every Mario game, like Mario Kart, the Mario Kart series, Mario Party series, and also the Mario Sports series. It's gonna be the Mario series. Like I never played the whole entire Mario series, just like a few games. So it was Christmas of 2006. Yeah, we're going way back to my childhood. And after my mom, because my parents were divorced, so me and my sister, we went over to my dad's house, and we had Christmas at my mom's house. So we spent Christmas over there. Then we would go to my dad's house and have Christmas over there, and we would have breakfast and then lunch over there. So it was just kind of like. It was every kid's dream that you would have Christmas and then you would have double the gifts and everything. But it was, yeah. But then, so we went over to my dad's house and we unwrapped our gifts, me and my sister. And then my dad goes into the kitchen. My dad tells us, he goes, your grandma wanted me to give you your gifts. She got you Christmas gifts, so here you go. And my dad had to explain to my sister mostly that my grandma, whatever she got me, she got me too, and it comes with it. And so for my sister, she had to get one big thing, but it was the same price as my gift, because you know grandparents, they want to be fair and treat their grandkids fairly. So then it was just like, then when my sister opened her gift, I opened mine. First thing that I opened was the Nintendo DS. And then the second thing that I opened, it was New Super Mario Bros. And what hit me was that comic bookish like artwork, and it said new, and then it says Super Mario Bros. And what was so cool was that the artwork design on the case, it was just so awesome. And let me just tell you guys that this was the first video game handheld / console that I had, because years ago when I was little, have you guys have ever heard in the early 2000s called Leapfrog? That was the thing that I kind of grew up with, besides the PlayStation 2. But I never played the PlayStation 2. At this time, I just didn't really care to play the PlayStation 2 really that much, because I had only just the same games. I just never had the time to buy other games for it, so I was just sick and tired of it. So then I got the DS, and that just opened my mind to something different. Not just to the Nintendo brand, but also to loving this character so much. The New Super Mario Bros., what really got me and really attracted me to this whole entire game was how colorful it was, and the tune, the music, and it was just like you had like the ground stage where it was bright and colorful, then you would go to underground, which was totally awesome, and then you would have like the water levels where Mario was swimming, and then you had then on level 7 it was like the rocks and stuff, and then then the snow level, and then like level 8, since it was just like you're getting close to going to fight Bowser and saving the princess. It was the lava stage, and just like everything was lava and basically everything else, and it was just like the villains were awesome. You had Bowser Jr., and then you had like the Goombas, Koopas, and then you got like bee-looking spiders, and then it was just like, then you got things in the snow with the nose, and it was just like, it was just so awesome, and it was just like, it was so cool. And then plus, then at the end, you had, and then of course when you were getting closer, you had Bowser Jr. throughout the game. Then not just Bowser Jr., but then you had Bowser. And then right after you killed him off after the first level, he comes back at the end as Bone Bowser. And then of course when you get to the final house and you go through the puzzle way of solving the puzzle way, and then getting to the final boss, and it was just like Bowser Jr. just takes the bones and goes, yeah! was just like, then you fought against Bowser Jr. He goes, and then throws the turtle shells at you. Then you jumped up the turtle shells and you just wham him, and he's just laying on the ground, and then you hit him 3 times. And then all of a sudden, right when you killed off Bowser Jr., all of a sudden Bowser goes, oh! And it was just like, oh shit. Like, I didn't say oh shit. I didn't know like any cuss words back then when I was little. But in my head, I was like, oh shoot. I think I pissed this guy. I think I made this guy mad. So then the way to fighting him, it was just incredible. And it was just so awesome. Just the way how to do that. My mom took me and my sister to our aunt's house, and I went over there and I was playing New Super Mario Bros. On my DS, and then so then my cousin, she walks in, and I showed her what I got, and then she was playing it for a little bit, and she was like, oh, what is it? And I was like, it's New Super Mario Bros. And she was like, they made a game, like another game? And I said, well, yeah, Super Mario Bros. Like, I thought the one that I had was the original game, and I just never heard of any other Super Mario games. And my cousin, she goes, hang on a sec, I'll be right back. She goes to her room, and she comes back out, and what she brings out was her original Game Boy Color. And you could tell it wasn't the original, it was just like if it was the original, it was that big blocky one. But then it was just like, it was black and white, and the game that she still had in there was Super Mario Land. The one thing that hit me and made my mouth drop was that how different it was. It was in black and white, mine was in color. Mario just looked different. Mario looked pretty cool and rad in mine. But still the same, the music was still catchy. But then it was just like, she played mine for a few minutes, and I played hers for a few minutes, and it was just like, the things that hit us was just how different the games were and stuff. So, and then I thought that was cool. I thought that was cool, that to learn something different and stuff. But my cousin had to explain it. She had to explain it to me that it was that they made even games before I was born. So I was like, oh, okay, like I've never even heard about this. Then a few more weeks later go by, and then I go back to my aunt's house, again, me and my sister, and my mom brings us. And we walked into the house, and all of a sudden I saw cords going down on the ground from the TV, and all of a sudden I saw this white block. And I was like, what the heck is it? And she goes, it's my Super Nintendo. Of course, it was just like, what hit me in the brain was just the name, like, boom, Super Nintendo. And I've never even heard of the Super Nintendo, because the Super Nintendo, I think, came out in 1991. And of course, you had this block, this big old block, and it was a gray cartridge, and on the front it said Super Mario World. I popped it in, and it was just like, the first thing that hit me, it was just like how, same thing as my Mario game, it was colorful, and it was bright, and it was just like, and of course the catchy tune was still there. And it was just so awesome. It was awesome just to see something different. And it was just like history class, on how like you would learn stuff in history class, but it was just so boring, you just wanted to sleep in class. But then it was just like, this was something that I really wanted to learn, and something that I was interested in. And I thought it was really cool how Mario was around even before I was born. So, and then after, like, I think I was like, I don't even remember how old I was, but I remember maybe like a year or 2 or 3 years before 2014, so this was before I started writing Nintendo Freak. I just sat at the computer and I just did research on different types of Mario games, and I saw that Mario was around ever since the 1980s, and now it's like in the late 2000s, and I was like, wow, it's so cool to see something different that you've never even seen or ever heard of before. And I thought it was so cool to just see and be able to witness like this, and it was just like, wow, like that is so cool to learn so much about how iconic this character is, how the game series was, and how like people just loved it for so many years, and they just made it for so many years. And then it's just like, and now how Mario is just going to be making people love, like, people are just going to love it and stuff like that. And like I said, you guys, in 2006, that was the life changer of my year, because I had Leapfrog, and that was all I played besides the PlayStation 2. And like I said, this was the first thing that I saw that you can take on the go, play video games with you. You can take video games with you wherever you go, and it didn't even come with batteries either. You just charged it at the wall, and it was just ready to go. You didn't have to worry about batteries dying and everything else. And it was just so cool, and how you could take it with you, and it was just like, Mario was just awesome. And that's how you guys, and that was my little quick memory of Super Mario Bros. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also that notification bell right by the subscribe button. Smash that Mario coin block! And you guys will be notified every time we make a video. So, peace.